Hello girls and boys, how's it going? You've probably been hearing the news of layoffs in the tech sector all across the world. Some estimates say that in 2025 till now, about 131,000 people have been laid off by the technology companies all across the world put together. There's a company called TrueUp.io which has even created a graph of how many layoffs have happened per month. Closer home, TCS declared day before that they are letting go of 12,000 people in the year 2025. Now you might be hearing all of this and wondering, hey, I am next. Is this going to impact me? Is it time to change my job? But even if I change it, where do I change it to? Or maybe you're a fresher and you're wondering, what a horrible time to pass out, dude. Will I even get my first job? Now I understand all of this. I know where you're coming from. I passed out in the year 2000, which was exactly similar, if not worse. And in the last 20-25 years, I'm here to tell you to specifically create these videos and to let you know that these kind of layoffs are not random. In fact, layoff itself is an algorithm. And if you understand the variables, you can change the output for you. So in this video, we will dissect all of this, go deeper, and talk about a couple of things. I will talk about how large IT companies typically choose people where to cut. I'll give you some parameters on how these decisions are on an average taken, a behind the curtain scenes. I'll also talk about a 4-part framework that I've been thinking about. It's called a SAFE framework to make you indispensable at your job. I'll also give you a 7-day, a 30-day, 60-day actionable plan if you are particularly feeling vulnerable and you think you might get impacted by layoffs. I will also talk to slightly senior folks and tell you how you can become a part of something called a PowerPoint leader and what to do, how to recognize if you're one, and what to do to get out of it. And of course, I'll sprinkle in a bit of spirituality in all of this while we talk about. So stay till the end, and in the end, I will give you a 1-page checklist which you can start executing immediately. Alright, so let's talk about what is actually happening without getting into the fear factor. Let's apply some logic and try to understand what the heck is going on in the world. Now, if you know a little bit about geopolitics, you know that this is not the most stable time. There are conflicts happening at different places of the world, which is impacting business, which is impacting the growth. And when that happens, companies which are for profit, they start thinking on how to stabilize themselves and how they can put them in a growth path. And they start optimizing on cost to value. What that means is, what is my operating cost and what is the value that I'm delivering? And they start looking at a couple of parameters that I'll describe. They start looking at what is my bench strength. What is a bench strength? It is the number of people who do not have projects currently and are sitting waiting to be deployed on other projects. Now, if you look at it from a company standpoint, that is cost to the company which is not resulting in revenue. They also look at what is the skill profile of those people. Are those highly skilled people ready to be deployed? Are they sitting with legacy skills which might not be relevant? Are they with skills which are too manual, which are likely to be impacted by AI? They start looking at these factors. They also start looking at the middle management layer. People who typically do not directly impact revenue or delivery or efficiency, because these three put together in some way impact the dollar amount. If you don't fall in any of these categories, that puts you in a risky situation. And then overall at a company's perspective, they might look at teams or business units which are not adding up to the profit ratios. There might be a product which is not selling very well. There might be a couple of teams which are not delivering over a period of time. And that is how those decisions are probably taken to have a hard look at that group, at that team, at that product. So how do you identify if you are an at-risk bucket? I'll give you a couple of pointers and you can use that on yourself and see if you are at a risky position today. Number one, if you are sitting on the bench for close to 20-30 days and there is no active mapping to a project which is going to start very, very soon, then you are at a vulnerable position. If your utilization percentage is not tracked or is very, very low, which means over the years you might get into a project or a product and come out, but over the year you have not been in projects for a longer period of time, then you might be at a risky place. If your product, now this is specifically talking about product companies or smallish organization, if your product is not selling well, if your service is not generating a lot of revenue, if you're losing customers, that also puts you in a danger area because you're no longer in the profit generating part of the organization. If your work is not technology related and the only thing that you're doing is, let's say, reporting status, coordination, creating slides, you're not directly making a positive impact on the revenue, then another area to be a little worried about. If you don't understand the AI wave and if you don't understand tools, the AI tools that your organization is using, that also puts you in a dangerous position. If you are a DevOps or a cloud engineer or a platform engineer, check what have you automated in the last 1 month, what tangible deliverable have you deployed. If the answer isn't very clear enough, that puts you in the danger zone. Very simply, if I can put all of this in one sentence, if your manager cannot justify the return on your investment, on your salary in 1 or 2 sentences, you are in a dangerous position, girls and boys. So how do companies typically decide whom to let go? This is some parameters in the invisible spreadsheet which is created. Now, this is basis of my experience. Obviously, it is no trade secret. These are things that I have seen happen in the meetings that I have been privy to across companies in the last about 10 odd years that I've had access to some of this information. I'll share this with you. Most important, are you generating revenue for the company or not? Are you generating revenue? Are you spending revenue? So who are the people who generate revenue? Sales people, where you've got immediate revenue generated. Technology people who create a technology which is sold to customers. Customer facing people who interact with customers. Delivery people who deliver an account. All of these are dollar making positions. If you're not in one of them, then it could be dangerous. Second, rate versus realized value. If the company pays you $100, are you making $500 for the company or not? Effectively saying, are you overpaid for your job? Check that. Because in COVID period, a lot of people have gotten a lot of hike. This is correction time. This is where you might be in a danger zone. The third thing is, are your skills future fit or not? Now the rules of the game are changing. Do you have skills which are relevant in the industry today, tomorrow? Are you aware of AI? Are you participating in all of that game? And overall, generally also, are you somebody who's still doing manual testing? Could be a problem area. Just one example. Next factor is, what is the evidence of the impact you have created? How many projects have you delivered? How much code have you written? How much test cases have you written? What is the tangible impact that you have delivered in the last couple of months? For the senior folks, if you're a manager, What is your span of control? How many people report to you directly or indirectly? How many people are you responsible for? And then your replaceability. The job that you do, can it be done by a junior people almost as effectively as you can? If I were to summarize all of this in one question, the question is very simple. If you are removed from your position today, what will break tomorrow? If you have a good answer to it, you are safe. There is nothing to worry about. Now I'll talk about a framework which I came out with, which is called a SAFE framework, SAFE, which will make you indispensable in your organization. What does it mean? S is for ship valuable work. What does that mean? It depends on what your profile is, but ship valuable work in whatever work that you're doing. If you're a developer, make sure you're shipping valuable code which is going in live. If you're a DevOps engineer, make sure you have automated stuff, you've created solutions which are working today. If you're in the project management area, make sure your projects are getting successfully delivered and showcased. So ship valuable work, S. A, automate ruthlessly. No matter what profile you are in, when you can automate, you can show increase in efficiency, you can show cost saved, any of those, but automate away as much as possible. That is of immense value to any enterprise today. F is focus on revenue, risk, and run cost. Any of these three, the work that you do should tie up in either revenue generation, reducing risk for a customer or for the enterprise, or reducing the run cost. If you can tie up your work to any of this, you are safe. And E is evidence everything. What does it mean? Whatever work you do, make sure it is documented, it is highlighted to the management, to the senior management. Showcasing your work becomes a big part of this. So SAFE, ship, automate, focus, and evidence. If you're finding yourself vulnerable, what is a 7-day, 30-day, 60-day plan to get out of that situation? Let's talk about that. So 0 to 7 days is stabilize and signal. What does that mean? You go up to your manager if you can and have this conversation. Hey, what's my utilization been in the last 1 year or 6 months? What kind of projects are coming in? Where do I fit in? How do you see my role changing, evolving in the next 3 to 6 months? And you should also offer to be flexible. You should say, hey, these are the skills that I've acquired recently. I'm happy to move into an alternate role. Show flexibility from your side so that your manager gets more options on how to place you. Basically, understand the signals to stabilize and show your relevance and your readiness to be able to fit anywhere. Day 8 to day 30, the 30-day plan is where you deliver your proof. What does that mean? That means you, on your own, you take initiative, write a script, develop a dashboard, write a mini utility which will showcase value. If there is a project which is in red, which is in trouble, even if you're not a part of that project, volunteer to help. Go and help them, put in extra efforts. Hopefully the manager or somebody senior will see you, spot you, and some doors or windows of opportunity can open up. And of course, upskill surgically. What do I mean by that? Pick up one skill which your team or the adjoining team has a very emergency need for. Upskill yourself in a week and go to them and say, hey, I've learned this. Can I contribute? Go out of your way to demonstrate value. And then day 31 to 60, lock your position or look at plan B. What is plan B? I'll talk about in a minute. So if these 30 days should put you in a position where you start talking about getting placed in one of the more projects that you have helped, that you have upskilled in, that you have shown value in. They should start eyeing you, and now in the post 30 days, it's time to lock yourself in one of those. If none of that is happening, it's time to activate plan B, which is to start looking outside. And I'll talk about that in a minute. How do you activate the plan B? You put feelers across the organizations that, hey, I'm available and I'm looking for work. Old friends in your organization, this is within the organization itself. So your friends in the organization, seniors who know you, you have worked with in your past projects, reach out to them for work. And it is perfectly okay for you to proactively reach out to other people and say, hey, I'm available. Can I help you in project? I'm looking for work. This is true for services companies. It is true for product companies. It is true for startups. It's true across the board. Nobody minds somebody who's offering themselves for work, assuming they have the skills and the right attitude. Everybody needs good people. Before the HR comes to you, you should do this on your own. It is your responsibility to get placed, to get work, not the organization's responsibility. And I say this with a lot of caution. You are responsible for your success within the organization. Yes, the organization will help, but beyond a point, it's your future. You have to take control of it. Now let's talk about the slightly senior folks and the danger to become a PowerPoint leader. Now, what the heck is a PowerPoint leader? You know what it is. How do you overcome that? I'll give you a couple of immediate pointers. Number one, flatten your organization. Have more people that you directly influence and that you directly coach. What happens as a result of that is your circle of influence increases and your span of control increases. Second, start creating ownership metrics. Start showing before, after results. Hey, these are the automations that we did. This is what it was before. This is what it is after. Get your tangible metrics ready. Start building accelerators. Maybe it could be some small scripts, some utilities which will help other teams also increase their productivity. And that is one way to showcase that you are thinking about the organization. And most important, cut down on the number of extra meetings. See, when you're setting up a meeting or when you're attending a meeting, ask yourself one simple question. Is this really a meeting or is this an email? And that will solve a lot of things. Now let's talk about plan B and what to do if you really think that the access is going to come for you. How do you mentally think about it? Number one, create a cash runway. What do I mean? Have enough money in the bank to survive 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. How do you do that? Cut down your expenses, cut down on that travel, on that holiday, go into a reserve mode for a bit so that you can stash away cash in your bank and in your investments so that you get peace of mind. That even if my salary stops tomorrow, I have enough in the bank to be able to last a couple of months. At least 6 months is a decent enough figure. Then start creating your portfolio and start sharing it with people. What do I mean by portfolio? Your resume, your LinkedIn profile, your Twitter profile, your area of impact, your work, all of that should be part of your portfolio, ready to go. 3-4 different versions, one for a product company, one for a startup, one for a large enterprise, whatever variations work for you. And then start activating your network. Start reaching out to people and say, hey, I'm proactively looking out for more opportunities. Can you help? And this is very, very difficult for some people to be able to go out there and say, can you help me? Get over that hurdle. There is absolutely no shame or guilt in saying that. Everybody needs help one time or the other. And then finally, a spiritual angle to this. When shit hits the ceiling, there is only one thing to do, which is to go in and center yourself and to think only one thing. What is in my control? Do that. What is not in my control? Stop worrying about that. And if you can do these things, these two things only, that will give you a lot of clarity of thought and put action Don't go into an analysis paralysis mode. Action is what will get you out of that limbo. And finally, here's a 1-page action checklist on your screen. We spoke about the SAFE framework, ship something weekly, automate the right stuff, the boring stuff, focus on risk, revenue, run cost, and evidence of doing things. 7-30-60, 7 days, ask your hard questions, volunteer, map your value. 30 days, deliver proof of impact. 60 days, lock in your role or activate plan B. If this video made sense, I would highly recommend to subscribe to the channel. There are more such awesome videos out there. I will put on the channel. There are videos on how to create your profile, how to create your LinkedIn profile, your resume. You can have a look at them next, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.